I've told you guys how much I can't stand the media, right? How much, whether it's mainstream media, missing link media, whether basically even new age media, I can't stand any of it. And what exemplifies this best to me is I always flash back. I can't remember the year now, but Stephen A. Smith was talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, and during the course of his rant, he had listed three Chiefs players that he was really looking forward to seeing on that particular game, one of whom was retired and two of whom were no longer Kansas City Chiefs. That is the level of analysis that comes to us from these sources. And guys, we have one again today that's going to put me off on some type of rant. We have winners and losers of NFL Week 14. The Chiefs won on a doink. Matthew Stafford and Josh Allen went blow for blow. Sam Darnold shined while Kirk Cousins struggled, and more. From The Ringer by Stephen Ruiz, and he lists among his winners the Chiefs. Well, kind of. The winner here, Chiefs Magic. All right, he says, I give up. The Kansas City Chiefs are a team that defies logical analysis. All of the numbers suggest that this team is closer to mediocre than elite. Steven can't seem to figure it out. That's fine. And that it's just a matter of time before this incredibly flimsy house of cards comes crashing down. See, this is what gets me. I can't stand this because what Steven is telling us is that he's smarter than everyone. He knows exactly how the universe is supposed to be panning out, and it's just not that way. And eventually it will. Eventually the house of cards will come crashing down, and then he'll be able to say, look, this whole time, I was right. This whole time, the Chiefs were just mediocre. Say the Chiefs lose in the divisional round of the playoffs. If that were to happen, all of the Stephen Ruizes of the world would say, look, we were right. It was just a matter of time. The article carries on. Every week, we walk away saying they can't keep getting away with this, only for Kansas City to get away with it again. This week's win felt like a cruel joke by the football gods. For a brief sliver of time, I'm talking fractions of a second, it appeared the Chiefs would lose like many of their opponents have this season when Matthew Wright's 31-yard game-winning field goal attempt banked off the left upright. But then the refs raised their arms. Mike Tirico belted out a doink for the division. And the realization that it happened again set in. It doinked, yes, but it doinked through the uprights. There is a maddening narrative going on here that for some reason the Kansas City Chiefs just luck into things, and all of these last-second wins have been perchance. All of these last-moment victories have been by the grace of the football gods. But, guys, it's simply not the case. The Chargers did lead in this football game. They led twice, and they held that lead for about 9 minutes total. It was about 5 minutes the first time, basically 4 minutes the second time. That is what you expect people to believe was a last-second win? Really, 60 minutes of a football game, the Chargers held the lead for all of 9 minutes-ish, 1/6 of the time. Was that 16.33% or something? That is the team that we are supposed to believe was screwed out of a victory? The Chiefs had more yards. The Chiefs had more plays. But maybe you realized that, right? I mean, watching the game, it kind of felt like maybe they were close in yards. The Chiefs had a fairly substantial number more plays. But here's one of the things that, two of the things that you heard about this game time and again, no matter who was talking about it. Man, Patrick Mahomes keeps taking all those hits. Patrick Mahomes keeps getting sacked. Both quarterbacks were sacked 3 times this game. Yeah, but man, in that third quarter, the Chargers got the ball, and you just kind of knew the Chiefs weren't going to get it back. The Chargers just dominated this game as far as what was going on the field. The time of possession was basically even. It was like 30-53 to 29-07, something like that. That was the time of possession in this game. That's essentially even. All of these narratives that keep popping up around the Kansas City Chiefs, they're doing so, they must be doing so off of highlight packages. There's no way that these people really think that the Chargers holding the lead for 9 minutes out of a 60-minute football game constitutes domination. That somehow the Chargers were ahead for so long. The Chargers went ahead with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. The Chargers went ahead with 4 minutes left in the game. That was it. These narratives around the Kansas City Chiefs, they're popping up and sticking because no one cares to do the actual work. These journalists do not care to do the actual analysis. There's an article that I might be bringing you tomorrow that kind of compares the Chiefs to the Patriots and all of the things that are going right. But guys, they're not just going right. The Kansas City Chiefs are doing what they have to win. We talked about this early this season. We talked about it a little bit last season. What's the purpose of going out and winning by 3 touchdowns? You know, those bigger, riskier plays, they're riskier plays. They open up all sorts of players to injury. The Kansas City Chiefs have lost, 19 different wide receivers this season. Do they need to take the risk of just opening up the offense, running and gunning it? Do they need to take that risk in order to get to the playoffs? No. They've already gotten to the playoffs. Do they need to take that risk in order to win the division? No, they've already won the division. Do they need to take that risk in order to get the 1 seed? They have a 2-game lead for the 1 seed. Any combination of 3 losses for the Steelers/Bills and or victories for the Kansas City Chiefs means the Chiefs are the 1 seed. So if the Bills lose 2 more and the Chiefs win 1 more, the Chiefs are the 1 seed. Well, the Steelers have to do likewise, right? And both of those teams, the Bills play the Lions this week, the Steelers play the Eagles this week. Nothing's guaranteed. All 4 of those teams could win those 2 matchups. That's a tough call. The Chiefs play the Browns, and the Chiefs will probably beat the Browns by 2.5 points, because that's what happens. And everyone's going to freak out, and they're going to say, boy, this Chiefs team doesn't look very good. Meanwhile, the Bills lose by 14 to the Lions, and it's just football. That's just what happens in football. The attitude of this article, where is it here? This week's win felt like a cruel joke by the football gods. For a brief sliver of time, the Chargers held the lead. That was the brief sliver of time here. The Kansas City Chiefs are a team that defies logical analysis. What logical analysis? You haven't listed any. All of the numbers suggest that this team is closer to mediocre than elite. What numbers? 12-1 certainly doesn't sound like mediocre. 12 wins and 13 tries, that does not sound mediocre to me. But it doesn't matter, because these are the accepted narratives at the NFL national level, and so these writers just pass them off. It's a cliche, really, and any writer should be absolutely devastated and ashamed to employ cliche in his or her work. But the cliche has risen, and all of these media types just gobble it up. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button helps me out as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on the channel, dropping multiple videos every single week, and hope to have you back for the next one.